Technology we are using as of now to make our life more comfortable itself is actually worsening the situation as far as the future is concerned. How do we communicate that to people so that they become more economical in using it?
Just that if you have a common resource that no one actually pays for, but everyone uses it, they abuse it, right? So, and then it goes downhill, so then you don't have the resource anymore. And it's in no one's interest to actually try and make it better. So, and it's in everyone's interest to make it better. So it's not in an individual action, but it's in that collective action that change will happen. So, I think a lot of this can happen also through the private sector, which is looking at innovation and in technology. So, you know, if you're an engineer, I think that is a place you can work. If you're anything to do with building, construction, transportation, all of these sectors, they can all do with people who are conscious about climate change. So it would be interesting, I think, for companies as part of their corporate social responsibility programs to have climate change orientation to their engineers and their architects and all of those folks. But at the same time, there need to be laws put in place by the government and policies by the various executive branch departments to say that, yes, the Department of Transportation, for example, needs to have, when it builds roads, it needs to make sure that it's using a certain kind of cement or that doesn't emit as much greenhouse gases. So it's that combination of government policy and laws, and then the private sector also orienting, so that's their education again, but not at the primary school level, but at the institutional or company level. So I think that those programs to reorient engineers, architects, builders, because this is all part of that construction and our modern way of life that's brought this about. And we're not saying, well, if you tell someone that you should stop doing this, that's not going to go over really well. That's not a way to convince someone that you should stop using air conditioning and you should just sit at home and be hot. You know, that's not going to affect anyone. So what you want to do is say, yeah, you can use your air conditioning, but it's coming from solar. Or, yeah, you can do what you want to do, but it's all coming from clean, renewable fuels. You know, you can, now the fact that if everyone gets in a car at the same time, it's going to be congested, that's a different problem. But the problem is right now that those cars do create a big chunk of greenhouse gases for the world. So, you know, in India, cars are just expanding the consumption and I think the consumption of cars, of houses, of air conditioning, just consumer goods, that's just going up, right? And that's a sign, again, of economic progress. So it's very difficult for countries to say we will stop progressing at the economic level just because of climate change, right? And the message I have is that it's good that, you know, to be conscious of what you're doing and not use plastic bags, because this is a problem. What we've done is our own individual consumption, right? So it's good to not use plastic bags. It's good to be conscious of composting and recycling and not use so much energy. But at the same time, you're just one link in a big chain of things and that need to happen for climate change action. So if you are not connected to another link, it will never form that chain. It will just be a piece that's floating out there. So my message is that you need to be linked in, and that action needs to be coordinated and coherent and organized. So why was Mahatma Gandhi so successful? You know, he was able to talk to the layperson. That's one reason. But the second was not just talking to the layperson, but actually organizing for action. And he had his own example as well. So there were three things, right? And so I would actually take that as I would use Mahatma Gandhi's strategies for climate as well.